People really liked this idea for Rome 1, so I decided to cover it for Medieval 2 also. 5 factions that I would love to see in Medieval 2 Total War. These are here for historical reasons, but are rated for their gameplay. Also, I am not saying that the game is terrible and needs these factions, as some people seem to think last episode. I love Medieval 2. But here's some ideas for fun factions that may also work. Number 5, Georgia. Georgia in medieval times is often overlooked, but was actually a very active and interesting kingdom. Despite frequent invasions, mainly from the Muslims, Georgia managed to survive in the mountains, and that is how I imagine their faction in-game. A small faction starting in the mountains and being excellent when it comes to defending their homeland. Maybe focus some units into defending into the mountains, like archers, pikes, stuff like that. It would also be an interesting starting location. With the Rome Total War episode, there were a few downsides to most of the factions, but as you can clearly see, this one being at the bottom really has no downside. It would be brilliant in game, yet I just feel that others would be better. Number 4, the Cumans. The Cumans would start south to Russia. Their nation will be thinly spread, with very weak settlements, mostly undefendable villages. These are the mirror of Georgia, who is just to the south. The Cumans cannot defend, and so are forced to play aggressive, and I believe fast cav units, especially, I hate to say it, missile cav, would be perfect. This is what they did historically, and so why they fit perfectly. The Scythia of Medieval 2. Number 3, Croatia. Now, I guess there is one weakness with the previous two, and that's that they are pushed to the side slightly. When pushed to the side of a map. Also, Georgia is stuck in the mountains, and the Cumans take forever to get anywhere, due to the size of their land and the distance between the settlements, whilst Croatia ranked higher as they are more in the general action, being in the centre of Europe. Croatia did exist during the start date as a rather large power, and so it would be natural for them to be added into the game. It will also help to fill in the Balkans a little bit more. A part of the map that is lacking compared to other parts. Now, I had a lot of fun making this video, doing the research, making this list, so I actually have 3 honourable mentions today, which I will look into and cover briefly. First up, the Welsh. They still had some independent land at the start date. They could help fill out the British Isles and add an interesting roster to the game. However, due to their size, they should not be expected to last long into the game, and so would be kind of pointless, and would not work gameplay wise. Second, we have the Lithuanians. They did not exist at the start date as a unified power, like how we see them in Kingdoms, but I would love to see them anyway, as it is still close enough and would add flavour to the Baltic area. Speaking of adding flavour to the Baltic, here is the final honourable mention, the Teutonic Order. Okay, they of course did not exist at the start date, I am aware, but I never said they had to be starting factions. How about the Teutonic Order as a horde faction? Imagine a horde of Teutonic knights spawning in to convert the land. They would be lesser in size than the Mongols, of course, but much tougher, and focus on heavy infantry instead, a mirror to the Mongols. This also does happen in stainless steel mod. Well, why is it just an honourable mention then? 2 reasons. Firstly, to keep it historical, they would arrive near the time of the Mongols, which in my opinion may take away from the Mongols themselves as being something unique and exciting. Second, there is no pagan nation in the game, so there is no one to really convert, and so they seem kind of pointless in the game. So for that reason, I did not add them onto the main list. Back to it, the top 2. Second, we have Norway, which should start similar to how we see them in the Britannia expansion map, holding of course Norway as the capital, but still controlling northern Scotland and the surrounding islands. Here they will start with Inverness. Norway would be a super interesting faction to play, unique roster, unique approach to warfare with raiding, and an early game rival for Denmark. Only issue is, they will weaken the Scots, preventing them from taking Inverness early. That is one big weakness of a faction, that they weaken Scotland, a neighbouring faction, but I want to see them so much that I placed them here anyway. I think it would be worth it. Now, number 1, the best, the most wanted faction by me. It is, of course, Aragon. Medieval 2 united Castile, Leon into Spain and gave Portugal Pamplona. But the presence of Aragon alone could fix the entire issue, historically, with Iberia. Firstly, they will start with Pamplona and Barcelona. Then Spain would have to be renamed. And whether that be Leon or Castile-Leon, I don't mind. So Portugal will represent just Portugal, which is a positive. The Spain naming issue will be fixed, which is a positive. And it is accurately showing how divided Iberia was at the time in a much better way. That is the historical point. The gameplay point is where it helps to fill in the map more, as I just feel Iberia needs a few less settlements that are rebel and another faction in there. And of course they will need a more unique roster as well, one that differs from Spain in the game slightly. And that is all then. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave your own opinions. Do you agree with the list? Do you agree with the ranking order? Next time, whenever that may be, we will be looking into both Alexander Total War and Barbarian Invasion, both in one video. But until then, subscribe to get notified of my other videos, and please do share them with anyone you think may be interested in this channel. I've been MELKOR. Until the next one, goodbye.